Welcome back, everybody. Is New York sports real life right now? So much to get into with the oh my God Mets writing a Disney movie. The Jets say you're fired to Robert Saleh. The Giants win a game. Nobody had them winning. The Yanks look like they're stuck in the same old playoff Yankees. The Patriots say it's May in October. Let's get into it. Robert Saleh, see ya.
See ya. You're at it.
Unbelievable. We're going to start it off with the 100-yard dash. Yeah. Football, and I got to tell you, that was definitely some crazy breaking news this afternoon. When I'm driving in the truck and all of a sudden you hear breaking news. I'm like, what is it? Did the Jets get the wide receiver? That's kind of what I thought it was. And then you hear that the Jets fired Robert Saleh. What's your instant reaction to that, Mike?
I couldn't believe it. So I was in the OR and one of the reps came running in. Same deal. Said the Jets just fired Rob Saleh, and me and my doctor looked at each other like, they fired him on a Tuesday afternoon in week 5. That is not Jet-like, man. But I'll tell you, that's what I kind of like about it. The Jets finally somewhat stood on business. That's how I look at this. And a lot of Jet fans are not happy. A lot of Jet fans are a little happy. Feels like, that was part of the problem. But at the same time, the bigger problem is Nathaniel Hackett. And I can't dispute that Hackett's not a problem. He is. And I also don't know whether or not Rodgers had his hand involved in any of this, whether it was keeping Hackett and getting rid of Saleh or what may have it. All I know is that the end result was that Rob Saleh is no longer the head coach of the Jets, and that bodes well for the Jets' future. That's how I feel.
Yeah, well, to me, Rodgers' hands are as bloody and as disgusting as it possibly gets right now. And it just scares me because never in the history of football did a team go out there, fire their head coach, turn around and win a championship. What the Jets are setting themselves out to do, right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely never been done. But I think you've seen enough football and the world's seen enough football to realize those Super Bowl aspirations have been gone for quite some time. You weren't getting it. Here's how I view it. It was an impossible feat to go win a Super Bowl with Rob Saleh. Right now, it would be a miracle. It's not impossible. Rob Saleh, you were not winning a Super Bowl with Rob Saleh as your head coach. Great guy, great defensive coordinator, crummy head coach. Drew, do you have the clip?
Yep.
Bad coach.
You ever see one of those series when you go to bed and they make it a dream? Was this whole season a dream that we don't know what happened?
Night's
coming up.
Left was a nightmare.
Well, they wake up from that. Part is like I said, if what Charles is saying holds truth, then I'm gonna have to wait another year to prove that Nathaniel Hackett sucks. Like, let's be realistic. If Rodgers played this year, Rodgers was not playing the entire season. No matter how you spin it, he was not getting through 18 weeks of football behind this offensive line. So at that point, then who's to blame? You know what I mean? What would we have done this year if Rodgers played?
All right, that was somewhat it. I got my timestamp wrong. But the point being is that they needed to get rid of them. What I went on to say in that video was that they needed to get rid of them at that point last year because you had seen enough of what this team did as far as coaching. Even when you had Zach Wilson, even when you had Schmidt, all these bums that were coming in and out before Rodgers, you saw enough as far as penalties, as far as coaching the team, game planning on a weekly basis for teams, day in and day out. They weren't able to do that last year. That wasn't going to change this year just because you had Aaron Rodgers. And I'm glad that the Jets finally stood on business.
So who's to blame? You blame ownership?
For what? For losing?
No, you said yourself that, that Saleh should never have been in this position to begin with. So you're blaming, obviously, ownership for not making that decision sooner.
I'm saying, no. I'm saying that this is actually the perfect time that they should have done it. You know what I mean? You did. All right, fine. I understand you weren't able to see the full puzzle come together last year, right? So you have to at least give it that benefit of the doubt. But now at week 5, with this kind of record, with the hype that you guys had coming into the season, you've seen enough. You've seen enough to the point where you got to make a move. You got to make a decision. Apparently, all the reports are coming out that, he was on his way to, or he had just gotten done demoting Nathaniel Hackett's rights to play calling. He was going to go ahead and give that to Todd Downing, who comes from the Titans, who is another train wreck in himself. So that's just another kind of artifact of Saleh's game planning, of Saleh's grip on the team, man. I like I said, the guy was a good guy, and I'm sure he's a good guy, but there comes a time when you come in and you're losing game after game, or you're losing games that you shouldn't be losing, and you're giving this rah-rah, you're giving these power points and how you're going to fly like an eagle and soar above everybody else. People are stopping believing in that shit when you can't produce, when all you're worried about is running up and down MetLife steps before the game instead of getting in the locker room and figuring out what the hell you're going to do against that offense or against that defense. You need an offensive mind.
Yeah, when you're 20-36 record on your career as a Jet coach,
and you're running steps.
Time and a place. There's a time and a place for everything. I just feel like it's pretty funny though. You go to London, you get embarrassed in London. Woody Johnson's probably sitting there next to some big shots, and he was literally embarrassed sitting there. And it's ultimately, to me, when you brought in Rodgers, I almost looked at Rodgers as a player coach more than even Saleh. So for them to just kick this guy to the curb, now there's nobody else to blame besides Rodgers, correct? If things go bad from week 5 on here, who's there to blame? It's going to be only Rodgers. So this, to me, almost like secures it that if you guys don't wind up having a good rest of the season, you're not even going to see Rodgers next year.
Well, yeah, well, that's actually even a good point that Charles brought up. But so he's even saying that this new coach basically doesn't really play a factor, is what you're saying, Charles? Because
you can't blame an interim, right? You can't blame an interim coach for bad games. You have a 41-year-old veteran in the game that's one of the smartest in the game. He knows the playbook. It's his playbook, right?
No, he knows the playbook.
Yeah, but again, I don't think by firing. So this is my argument. I don't think by firing Saleh you really solved anything, because it seems like the problems are with the play calling on offense in particular, right?
The offense is what's struggling right now, correct? But that is not the only problem. We are heavily penalized week in and week out, and it's about starting at the top as far as being prepared weekly. And his next move was, again, about to put in Downing as the play caller, who is abysmal, who was a disaster for Tennessee for multiple years. They had the 28th ranked offense 2 years ago. Like, that is not a good move. So yeah, get rid of Saleh. Saleh's not the only problem. There's more problems. Hackett's a major problem. Anybody with 2 eyes can see that. But we all know the situation at hand with Hackett and whose pockets are in whose. But now you have to get in offensive coordinator. What?
No, now it just made sense to me. Like, now I understand. Rodgers loves Hackett, so Hackett's going to remain there. Saleh went against Hackett, and then Saleh reportedly got escorted out of the building today.
Oh, I didn't read that. I don't know about any of that.
Yeah, he got escorted out of the building today.
Reportedly,
allegedly. But it's being reported by a lot of people, though.
Well, listen, no, that's 100% the dynamic that is going on. So I wouldn't put it past some real serious drama, some Sopranos-esque crap going on in that training facility. I really would.
Do you think he just walked out of there graciously? No. That guy was fighting for his job. If you heard his interview over the weekend, it's, we got to do this, we got to do that, we're not dead yet. Or he definitely came by extreme surprise. Bro, give me a list. Give me a list of coaches that got fired in week 5. It can't be long. It can't be long.
He's definitely the first one. I think he's like the first.
Oh, really? I know.
No, this year. This year. I mean,
yeah.
He's the first Jet head coach to be fired mid-season since 1976. I read, or something like that, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
But Mike, I had another question for you. So I know you are, I guess you're excited. You're more on the excited side of the firing of Saleh. But now with this guy, Ulbrich, right? Is that how you say it? Does he know, and do you think that he's well prepared and knows that this is a Super Bowl or bust season?
Here, I think the Super Bowl or bust thing, I don't know. It's hard to say what these guys are thinking, but I can't imagine that that's still a thought around that locker room. Now, I think the thought is to make a playoff run and then see what happens and so on. I do think that you're getting another year out of Rodgers if all goes well and the chips fall correctly. I think he'll play another year of ball for us. Ulbrich is a good coach. Ulbrich is not going to be the head coach next year. I think they'll play harder under him. I think we see it all the time. These teams, get rid of the head coach and then they fire off a couple of wins just on a rah-rah spirit. I think getting rid of Saleh is really going to help because I do feel like the tides were changing in that locker room as far as the cheerleader spirit he had and the win-loss record he kept. I don't know if he's ready for anything of the sorts. I think their hope is that they can somewhat change the attitude, somewhat make the offense move for the time being. I don't know how they plan to do that, but something needs to happen and get into the playoffs because despite all this bullshit, the Jets are versing the Bills on Monday night, and if they win, they're in first place. Despite all of this. You know what I mean?
Exactly what I was coming at you with. Despite everything you just said, it sets yourself up. The division is a bit of a mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Bills. You're in first place, and you're kind of figuring out all these things on the fly, and it could work. It could work. And you do see it in baseball. You do see it in baseball, but there's 162 games. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of time to really figure stuff out. In football, bang, bang, bang here. Week 5.
No.
It's week 5.
100%, man. Look, I am excited. At the very least, I'm excited because it saved me 9 to 10 weeks of nothingness. I think we're on the right path. Finally, we made a move that needed to be made when it needed to be made and didn't waste any time about it. And there are more moves to be made. Let's see if they could do it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Monday night, you'll be let out by this guy.
Yeah, baby. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, those defensive guys respect the hell out of this dude. He may be able to pull the locker room together. Don't be surprised if we start scrapping wins we shouldn't. The offense just needs to wake up. That's it. I mean, the defense has played well, but don't go out and get me another defensive head coach. I'll jump off a cliff if we get another defensive head coach. That's it. We're done with it. We have a good defense. We know how to play defense. Ulbrich knows how to coordinate a defense. Go get Ben Johnson from Detroit, the offensive coordinator there. Go get what's his name, Slowitzky from Houston, the offensive coordinator there. Go get one of these young guys.
But are one of those guys going to want to come knowing Nathaniel Hackett has the offense?
No. But that's my point. Things have to change. If you're 2-7,
but that's not happening.
No, Andrew. At the end of the day, I understand that Rodgers and Hackett are buddy, kiss, hug. But if Aaron Rodgers is 2-5, I guarantee you that relationship changes. I guarantee you Rodgers is okay with Hackett being removed from play calling. Go get him. That's the only defensive coordinator I'm okay with getting as my head coach.
Or something extremely
right your wrongs, funny, Billy B.
Extremely
right your wrongs
would be Bill Belichick. That would be the funniest shit.
Circle. Send us a fax.
Shit.
I hope he sends his resume in a fax.
But you know what?
The same way he sends his resume.
At the end of the day, you have a while to deal with that now, right? They put that they're not going to hire somebody mid-season just the way they fired somebody mid-season. So you bring this guy in. It's Rodgers' team. It's Rodgers' show. He has to get up there and do a lot more than just throw touchdown passes instead of pick sixes.
Yeah, man. The offense needs to make serious.
He's not the third down quarterback that he used to be.
Nope.
Let's be real.
And this 2014 play package that used to go along with that dynamic young Aaron Rodgers, that shit ain't flying anymore. We need to change it up.
Yeah.
Change it up.
Totally agree.
We'll see. How about them Giants?
Want to move on to these Giants who won a game that definitely nobody had them winning. And the week after, I completely shoveled dirt on Daniel Jones. He throws for 257 yards with 2 touchdowns. Looks good throwing downfield. But I'm not buying it. And like Andrew said to me last week, like, yeah, he had flicks of it. You can't buy in. It was a great win. Dable definitely opened up the playbook, realizing that his O-line is definitely better than what he's had in the past. So I think that's helping him opening up his O-line. And they won a great game. They kind of dominated the game. Even though it came down to it at the end, they kind of dominated the game.
That's a tough team too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually watched most of the game. Freaking Daniel Jones was like running at people. Like he was really fighting for his career. It honestly, there was, I think, one time where it was like 3rd and 10 and he rushed for it. And maybe he was like 3 yards short of the first down. He put his head down and got the first down. That's the shit that you want to see from him right now.
Yeah, and the defense keeps standing up. They keep rolling. You had Kayvon Burns and Dexter Lawrence had 16 pressures with 5 sacks. That's what you need on the other side of the ball.
16.
The Giants defense.
You said 16 or 60?
16 pressures, 5 sacks.
Oh, okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys can play defense, man. It's just the offense is the issue.
Yeah, so I do feel like them seeing success in the O-line is definitely opening up the horizons for Brian Dable. Which
that kid was running well too.
Yeah,
Wandale Robinson also.
Tyrone Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy, right? He ran for 129 yards.
Yeah, man. He was running well.
And when you had no neighbors. Jones made some passes that were pretty insane.
He was going a lot more left to right this game, which I think that's just like Rodgers, he excels at. They had him moving out of the pocket, finding yards that way.
It's just now it's okay. Great game. I'm still not completely convinced, obviously, on Jones. I'm not going to do it to myself. And you have to move on. You have to pick up exactly where you left off. Special teams looked good. You have to pick up where you left off each and every week for this to. We have a chance to be 500.
Yeah, you guys I was just checking for you. Bengals Sunday night, huh?
Yeah, Sunday night against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Get out there and get after it. Oh man, my screen keeps going dark on me. Keeps going to sleep. Don't they know we got a lot to talk about?
Yeah.
But I'm just excited that we played a good game. That's kind of where I'm leaving myself on Sunday. Excited we play a good game, pick it up, keep it moving. Don't make too big things about it. Don't get too overexcited about it, and let's just keep grinding through it. Because if you go back, we lost the games, but the season could always be different off a couple plays here and there, right? Yeah, we had a kicker in week 1. We have another win against a team that's playing phenomenal. There's a couple drops by anything can happen. It's football. It's football, right?
Yeah. No, but that's the truth, because everyone. I mean, if we make a 53-yarder and then Rodgers sees Garrett Wilson streaking down the sideline in London, we're 4-1 right now. Like everyone knocks the Chiefs about how like they always escape this, that, and the other. No, they know how to finish the game. They know how to get that last play or two, because that's all it takes, man.
Yeah, and the one thing with the Giants, which I don't like, is we just let them the last play of the game. We had to block a field goal to take it back to score a touchdown for them to really win. It's always like. We're right there. That whole thing could have just been washed away if they would have kicked the field goal. Who knows what happens? There would have been a little time on the clock, but who knows what happens at overtime, right?
Yeah.
Oh, got to punch it down. Giants, just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. All right. What do you?
We're such on cruise control, the Giants and the Pats.
Yeah, that's basically it, right? That's basically it. But you had some big.
What
are
the Pats up to?
You had some big Patriot news.
Are you talking about Jabril Peppers or Drake Maye?
No, I'm talking about Maye. That's the biggest. That's
the biggest, right? You're starting him?
Yeah, it seems that way. And unfortunately, it's just not the right move right this week. The Houston D-line, highest pressures in the NFL. the Pats O-line, the most pressures given up.
Why?
Like, what?
Why now? Why now then?
That's honestly very interesting. I think next week against Miami Dolphins, I think it's a lot smarter.
Way better of a matchup.
I don't know why they did it, but because I think we got Dolphins, Jaguars, then you guys, I'm pretty sure. So
I mean,
I honestly,
you called for it for the Jet game.
I did. But like, I think this game was literally the worst game to do it on. Like, I would have liked next week. I don't know how I feel about it. I am obviously excited to see it. Jacoby Brissett, even though he's getting nailed every single week. I say it every single week, but now he's just missing throws. And our offensive line last week had their best game, and he was still missing throws.
Oh, so that's why then.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It is coming down to it, and just from rumblings around the locker room, they're saying that like people, they want to win, and they think that Drake Maye is their best opportunity to win. So,
listen, you kind of have like it's almost you feel like you could say that you have nothing to lose, but then when you look into it in detail, you kind of have a lot to lose, right? You don't want this kid to start off on the wrong foot. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
so there is a gamble. There is a gamble here of putting him in.
Yeah, I just experienced it with Mac Jones when we literally had a terrible system. That guy was never going to succeed in it. Not saying he was, going to be a good quarterback or whatever. And Mike's also, been through it. The Jets never ever had like a foundation, and were drafting, quarterbacks in the top rounds, and it wasn't working out for them because you have to build the foundation first and then go out and get your guy.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, listen, if they're able to sit this kid down, realistically, like honestly, if I was Mayo, I would sit this kid down and say, look, it's obvious this is rebuild. We're gonna get pieces. Go out there, learn how to play at this speed. Just take what you can. You know what I mean? Like don't go home with a lot of this because things are gonna change for you. But it's good to get him in as long as he has that mindset. Because like you just said, I've seen time and time and again these quarterbacks just they go off the deep end.
Yeah. No. But if you see what Love is doing, and he sat behind Rodgers for how long?
I think just 2 years.
No, it was 2 years, 2-3, I think.
So you see the guys that sit behind the veterans come out and really play well and don't make those bad mistakes. That's because they've learned. In a dream situation, right, Mike? You would wish that your future was sitting right now behind Rodgers throughout this entire thing, almost, right?
Yeah, I do. But at the same time, it's like the league has changed so much where it's almost like you either got it or you don't. But also, then you have acts like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield where they relocate and they re-rise. So it's like there are still glimpses of that. So yeah, you're right. I would love for a young guy to be behind him.
And then back to the Patriots. He's not really sitting behind the Rodgers. So that's
exactly.
That's also on the table, right? So he's not sitting behind the Rodgers. So maybe it is time to just get him going and just hopefully he's smart enough not to get himself hurt.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's about being smart enough, but I don't know if a lot of people even know this about him, but he in all
you don't know nothing about him.
No, well, they do. I'm just talking about college football. In college football, he was the second most likely to run as the quarterback position behind Jaden Daniels. So this guy gets out of the pocket a lot too. So like, are we, gonna like let him do that, or is it just run, play action, maybe a couple bootlegs, something like that? I feel like that's the route we have to go because I don't want this guy scrambling.
Well, that's the problem. He's going to be running for his life. From what I'm hearing. So you're going to see how agile and how much he can actually move around. But as far as like drawing up, look, it's going to be rough, man. I'm telling you, we've seen it a million times. Hopefully the kid can just take it in moderation and figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for the Fantasy Feud. Surveying 100 people. Name a player who is going to go absolutely berserk on everyone's bench this weekend.
All right. So if you have not benched him yet, I'm shocked. I'm going George Pickens. Look, George Pickens was chosen pretty high up, considering what he's done this season thus far. He's only got about a little over 300 yards through 5 games. He's got 0 touchdowns, but at the same time, the Steelers' offense has sucked as a whole. I think he's going to get it going. I think this is the week that he gets it going. I forget who they have on the schedule, but it was a nice mashup, and I think it's time that he gets in the end zone. So if you have George Pickens on your bench, it's a mistake. Put him in your lineup.
Good answer.
Hey, ding, ding, ding.
All right.
It was the Raiders, by the way.
Raiders. They get torched.
Yes.
Thank you.
To the man.
I got Austin Eckler. Now, Austin Eckler probably isn't in a lot of people's lineups every single week, but every time I think he was hurt not last week, but the previous 2 weeks before that. But every time that he's been in the lineup, he's been putting in really good games. And this week against Baltimore, Baltimore has a really good run D, and Eckler's a lot better out of the backfield than the guy Brian Robinson. So I expect a lot of catches from him, hopefully a couple touchdowns.
Yo.
Good answer. All right. Name a player whose fantasy owners should be prepared to sink with the ship.
All right. This one hurts. This one hurts a lot, but it's realistic and it's true. Okay. Breece Hall owners, be prepared to sink with that ship. Look, I love the guy. I've seen what he can do. I want this offense to succeed just as much as anybody. I don't think for where you drafted Breece Hall, you're going to be getting anything that looks like that value. I think if this offense eventually does become something, what it's supposed to look like, I think Braylon Allen is going to end up being a big picture or a big portion of that picture. So Breece Hall may end up being okay, guys. He may be fine to put in your lineups, but as far as being this outstanding number one running back, you're sinking with that shit, man.
All right.
And I got it may be a little weird because he did actually just have a good game, but that's the reason why I'm kind of putting him here. Brandon Ayuk. It just keeps getting, flooded in that San Francisco 49ers offense. They have so many people there. Mason, you were so right about him, Mike. Literally from the first week, bro.
That was my best call.
It's literally insane. But now we got George Kittle healthy, Deebo Samuel healthy. Jawan Jennings is a young stud right now. And Brandon Ayuk, I think, kind of is like the Jawan Jennings replacement a little bit. So I know they did just sign him, but I mean, they're just going to go out and whoever performs the most is going to play.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Name a week 6 boiling hot take.
All right, my boiling hot take this week. That boy had me excited on the G-Men, fellas. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 18 carries, $129 against Seattle's front. Come on now. They got the Bengals on Sunday night. The Bengals are a high-powered offense, so I know Dayball's game plan is going to be to keep that offense off the field and run that rock. And I know he's a big Singletary fan. I understand that, but run this kid. This kid looks good. Tyrone Tracy is a top 10 fantasy running back in week 6. I'll do you one better. Tyrone Tracy is a top 15 fantasy running back at the end of the year.
Whoa.
You heard it here first.
I think he's just trying to hype up the host, right? He's trying to hype up the host right now.
Did he
get extra points for that?
Yeah, boiling hot take.
I somehow miraculously lost to Drew last week in fantasy, but it gave me the first position of the waiver wire this week. Tyrone Tracy Jr., baby.
Yeah, I want to see the screenshot. I want to see the screenshot. I'm calling you out. I want to see the screenshot of that. All right, backbone.
And this is even harder for me to say, and it goes against Mike's last freaking question. But I got Breece Hall. I have Breece Hall having the best game of his season. Now, listen to me. The Jets fired their coach. What do they need to do in order to get this offense going? It is get Breece Hall going. And they're going to do it a lot of people in motion. They really got to totally change up this offense. And I think the way to do it is Breece Hall against a really bad Buffalo run D.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, I'm going to say $150 touchdown.
Wow.
All
right. And
are we
listen,
taking first place?
Fantasy players.
Wait, what?
Are we winning that game?
Nah. I wasn't making that prediction.
Hey, listen, fantasy players. These are moving weeks. These weeks is when you're getting teams going on to buys. You need to get creative here in fantasy if you want to be there at the end. These are big weeks.
For sure.
That game's in Buffalo, right, Mike?
No, I think it might be MetLife.
You have to look.
Yeah, I can look too. Not sure.
It is in MetLife. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, baby. You know the show the Mets that they put on in MetLife, Charles. You saw it.
I did see it. I did make a prediction that definitely did not come true the week later. All right. That wraps up our football, and let's get into the race to October.
Wait, we got to say bye to our guest.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out, Mike? All right, brother.
Out, man. Listen,
I thought you were gonna stay for the
I'm
Mets.
just getting into Mets mode, but I'll be there soon. But what I witnessed tonight was straight up maniacal, baby.
Yeah, start it off.
All right. Thank you. And it's time. Freaking charge. Basically, a little bit of an instant reaction to the NLCS Game 3 for the New York Mets versus the Phillies. Like the last time we spoke, you were still in the wild card round.
Yeah, a week ago, right? So much shit has literally happened since then.
You can't even keep up with it. You cannot keep up with it at all. But go ahead, shoot your shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's even longer. It's been almost a month since Francisco Lindor has played a game in Citi Field.
Oh, wow.
This was his first game here in I think it was a little bit less than a month or a little bit over a month.
Because of his injury.
Yeah, first at bat, MVP. MVP. Oh, I am getting so hyped. He freaking cracks one and hits the warning track, though. But it got the crowd excited. Honestly, Lindor had a really good defensive performance, had one single at the end of the game. But other than that, put in a decent game. But honestly, I don't know who I'm really happy about Carlos Mendoza. I believe that it was his game plan, but the Aaron Nola game plan was to sit fastball, and we were laying off all of that junk low. We were not taking any of it, especially Pete. Pete was super disciplined tonight, and he hit. And you know when Pete's on, when he's hitting an Oppo home run. He's now done that twice in playoffs.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can we rewind really quick over to Passover? Can we rewind really quick over to Passover? Because you guys are down to the last 2 outs of the game. You have runners on first and third. Pete misses a fly ball. The vibes are low again. You feel like this is it. You're almost ready to say, that was a really good run. That was a really good season. You were almost ready to cash it in. I was with a Met fan, a longtime Met fan, sitting next to me watching that game, and they were done. The Met fan was done again, and then sure as shit, after the missed pop up, after this, he was down on himself, and he put a ball into the right field seats in Milwaukee. To send the Mets to the NLDS was heroics, legendary, classic. Pete's moment for a lifetime.
Yeah, no, 100%. Pete is honestly, I want to sign him so bad, but I don't want to sign him so bad because I do love him, but I just know that I know in the long haul it's not going to be worth it. But
okay, you can't even be thinking about that.
But that's the shrug. No, I know. It just literally popped in my head because I am gonna miss him. If this is his last run with the Mets.
Yeah, no. After the game, he freaking pops out the most awkward dude in the world. Just pulls out a pumpkin, and there's just something else added to their. Oh my God, the grimace, Doc, to everything that has been going on the last few months. And he just adds to it. It was literally, as a Yankee fan sitting back and watching it, it is crazy to see it in your hometown when a team that had absolutely no expectations turned it around, makes the wild card on the last day of the season, wins a crazy game, down and out almost in the wild card round, big hit, send it to Philly, and Philly right now today looks absolutely shook. And it sure, we're not going to say it, but it sure looks like the Mets have the upper hand to go to the next round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, another game in New York, and it's really hard to lose 2 games against a really hot team. You can see yesterday, 2 days ago, we lost. We bounced right back, and we bounced back, and then some. So you're 100% right. And whoever that friend was, I don't know who it was, but if they're ever counting out the Mets since that Atlanta series, that's shame on you.
They're lifetime Mets fans. They've been through it. They've been through it.
I know, but and I have too, but you just feel it. You really do feel like there's a different type of energy right now. Now. And it really just
can't even explain.
I know they've been the best team in the past 4 months of the MLB season, but it's really just feeling like that in the past 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
It almost seems like they are the top team in the MLB right now, playing wise. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's not just coming from the names. It's not just coming from the Lindors and the Alonsos.
Jesse Winker.
You've been calling for Winker, and sure as shit, he's been the hand, bro. He's been the hand.
He's another aura guy. When that guy's in, it just feels like everyone's playing harder. He's so passionate about the game, and he just gets everybody going.
Yeah, and there's one guy that you just can't leave out of the conversation, and that's Mark Vientos.
Yeah, I mean, Vientos is gonna
incredible,
just keep freaking slaying, freaking young phenom right now. I can't believe we have that kid. Unbelievable. I did want to bring up something though, because I know a lot of people do it, but it did go against us. So, and I'm just thinking about it. When you're up at bat and you're about to get hit by a pitch and you kind of move your arm in front of it, do you agree with the fact that should be a hit by pitch and you get first base?
No, so it's under discretion. It's under the umpire's discretion.
Wait, is that the rule?
Correct.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. 100%. 100%
so then,
the rule.
All right, so now I have an argument because this guy Marsh was up at bat and
today.
One of these, you know.
Yeah. He gave a little extra lean.
Right? You saw that, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I did see that, and he gave it an extra lean. It wasn't as blatant enough he didn't get out of the way, but it wasn't blatant enough to call it a strike or call it a ball. I think it's called a strike, actually.
Oh, it would be called a strike?
I believe so. You would have to double check me on that. I know it's up to the umpire's discretion. I could guarantee, but I don't know if it's a ball or a strike. I'm thinking it's a strike.
I'm not going to sit here and argue about this game, but I was just curious.
No, listen, and last night with the Yankees, I was hoping somebody was going to lean into one because he needed something going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what he tried doing.
Yeah, I just absolutely a dream show from the New York Mets that is not stopping at the moment, and they have a friggin' 2-1 series lead with another home game at Citi Field tomorrow at 5:00 with these stupid ass start times. But hey, who cares what time he starts? The Mets are ready.
Yeah, and can I just do one more PSA real quick?
Of course. I don't want to shortchange the Mets. Yeah, they're the talk of the town.
No, it's actually my only negative about the Mets, and I'm going back 2 games, not this game today.
Okay.
So the game that we lost, and me and you spoke about it off camera about this. Edwin Diaz in non-save situations needs to stop. I did the research. This guy has a 2.04 ERA in save situations. His non-save situation ERA is 5.16.
Wow.
Also knowing that Edwin Diaz threw 130 pitches over the last 8 days previous to that.
Yeah.
It's just looking at it, and also he doesn't do good against the Phillies historically. So just knowing all of that, why are we sending him out there in a non-save situation? And please don't do it again.
Because then it gets into a spot though where it's like he needs work or he needs this, right? You rather throw a bullpen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just have him
Please don't put him in the game. And they didn't even need to do that because he pitched so much previously.
Yeah, and it's just a different mindset. Like, the numbers actually make a lot of sense there, what you just read to us. Because the numbers do make sense because you could feel it when these guys get up there and they get their adrenaline going for a save. It's definitely different than coming in a different part of the game. Definitely. Yeah. You must have a completely different, because the last pitch you throw could be the end of the game.
Yeah, and especially him. He's only conditioned really to go 3 outs. They were looking to push
everybody
him
looks at it, Andrew. Everybody looks at it. Oh, it's going to be Harper. It's going to be this one. It's going to be that one. This is the best part of the lineup. We have to give it our best. That's the argument on the other side. And Diaz is the best for them in that moment, but not to the numbers.
Right. And I mean, it's a very analytical game right now, and I'm just curious on where's the analytics on this one.
But, so that's it. The Mets and the Yankees played and won a playoff game for the first time in the same day for the first time since 2000. That is pretty freaking crazy.
Nuts.
No, since 2000. That was 23 years ago. I was 13.
Yeah, that was when we went to the Subway Series together.
Yeah, I was 13. I was 13 years old.
So I was 9.
It's crazy, right?
8. Yeah.
But let's switch it over to the New York Yankees. So it's funny because it feels like there's two just completely different playoffs going on. Like completely different. Like the whole Mets run, and you guys have been playing every friggin' day. There's been so many less days off for you guys. Your schedules are different because you have the NL, you have the West Coast, you have the West Coast games on your side of the schedule. So you're getting all these weird start times. No days off. The Yankees have a day off after every game so far, except I think it's Wednesday, Thursday. And the playoffs could not have started as worse for the Yankees as you could have, like nightmare status in my eyes. Nightmare status start for the New York Yankees in the playoffs. First game, you have Cole that absolutely I dropped the ball on that when I told you that rest was good for my guys. I did. Because Cole definitely looked like he was sitting on his couch eating Cheetos for too long. Judge looked like he was in the same 0-for-5 game that he finished this season with. He looks like he's in that same mode, and it's just building and building and building now. Like, the first game he went bad. Yesterday, he got a friggin' infield hit that could have even been maybe an error. It's like there's no mojo going on. Boone did do a few things right in game one with starting Cabrera, looked very good at first base. Verdugo over Dominguez. Verdugo makes a really nice defensive play. Gets a nice big go-ahead hit. Chisholm looked all right. It's just when you're watching the Mets and the Padres and the Dodgers, and they have this aura going on with them, with all of them. There's fights in the dugout. There's nothing like that in the AL. The AL is extremely flat, except the Tigers. They look like they got it going for sure. They look like the Tigers got it going for sure. It's just, I don't know. It just does not feel right yet. I'm hoping that we could just keep scrapping along, grab a win out in Kansas City. We are a better road team than we were home team, I want to say, this year, which is actually surprising. I know that we played this team very well on the road. So I'm not worried just yet. But you have to get out. You have to get out there and win the game tomorrow night. Extremely big, must-win game. I feel like if you lose it, series might be over if you lose it. But in 22, we lost that. We lost this game in Cleveland, actually. So in Cleveland in 22,
3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. In 22, we lost that game in Cleveland. So the playoffs are long. The 5-game series is a long series. It is long. So you have to just get out all this shaky shit. Judge, like, Get off the pressure, dude. Get that pressure out of your head, man. It's just going to continue to build. It's not worth it. We know who you are. Everybody knows who you are. And yesterday, when the game starts, you have 2 on, no out, Judge is up, and he goes down without a productive at bat, and it can't happen. It can't happen. You had Soto come through in game 1. You can't expect these guys to come through every single solitary night, so it's got to be somebody else, and especially it's got to be Judge. He's got to pick up the slacks. He has to pick it up. It's becoming a real thing. Like, if you go back at his numbers, he had a good 17 playoff run. So you can't just say he's a bad player. You looking that up?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up his playoff stats.
Yeah, well, just like if you look up in 17, I think it was 17. I don't know the other years, but he's not the worst player. So it's turning into that. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's building now, and it's trending. Year? I said 17 just because that's the one I remember with the Astros and.
No, it's that was a bad year. It was 18. 18, he batted .421, 3 home runs, 4.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not all in all.
But can I just read his averages during playoffs? 188, 421, 265, 133, 250, 139, 143, 208.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I mean, he's not a historically good playoff player.
No. He's definitely not. And now it's gonna become a stamp on his forehead. That's where he's at this moment. If he doesn't turn it around,
and especially with like the Yankees being prestigious, who they are, it almost seems like all of the big time Yankees were those clutch guys in playoffs. So it's a little weird seeing like the Yankees guy not being a good playoff player.
Correct. I know what you're talking. I know what you mean 100%. But it's becoming worse and worse and worse as the days go on. If they don't turn it around this series, and this series they lose to Kansas City and they're out. And Judge has another miserable thing. It's a friggin' talking point for 365 more days. Nothing he could do in the regular season could matter. He could go out and hit 67. He could tie Bonds at 70. It will all become oh yeah, but what does he do in the playoffs? Oh yeah, what does he do in the playoffs? And then the years are just going to build. So they have to turn it around right here, right now. It's right in front of them. I am confident. Somehow, some way, I am still very confident in this Yankees team going into this game tomorrow night. Everything they have done, you have to get rid of it because that is the pathetic Yankees that we've seen during the lull of the season. That's the stuff that scared us. But then when you win that first game, when Cole shit, Giancarlo shit, Judge's shit, and you still pull that game out. Left so many runners on base. But the Yankees have a sick-ass bullpen, too, because game 2 yesterday, Rodon literally starts the game hotter than anything. And I'm sitting there going, dude, chill, bro. Chill. Don't blow your load, bro. Chill. Sure shit. Guy only went 3 and change. Couldn't get out of the inning. Couldn't get out of the 4th. And then there you are again, freaking horrible start. Meanwhile, the first 3 innings looked as good as anybody could possibly look.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
people get too hyped up for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like the freshman. It's like the freshman in high school that meets this chick, takes her into the room, lays it down, starts doing it right, and then oops. That's how it felt. That's my analogy for Rodon yesterday. It really felt like that. He went in there fucking gassed up, ready to go, bang, 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 and then oopsies. Right?
Yeah, nuts.
It's just doing that. That's it. So get it together. Step your shit up. Don't make this a thing, Judge. Don't make it a thing. Go out there, make a statement, and play good. Play 2 really, really good games here. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, Judge needs to lead by example.
He must have been like, obviously he's not thinking of this, but I was. The minute Robert Saleh's news came out today, I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. I don't have to hear them friggin' abusing Judge for the next 7 hours.
A little cover-up story.
yeah, that's what it felt like today, for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's a great time. Embrace it, Andrew. Embrace these days, embrace these games. Enjoy it, and let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling all around, even with the Giants, even with the
Hell yeah.
Keep it friggin' rolling. Let's go. All right, what are we getting into here?
You want to do a little reaction talk? I have a couple of things.
Reaction talk. What do you got for me?
All right. First up, did you see this? Igor,
I did.
Has reportedly rejected an 8-year, $88 million contract from the Rangers.
Which would have made him the highest paid goalie ever in the history of the game.
Yep.
My God. Text Aunt G this morning. He writes back 2 words. No, 3 words. Let him walk.
Let him walk.
Let him walk.
I don't know.
I was a little twitching there, like let him walk. So he's one of the greatest goalies I ever seen play the game when he's good.
Yeah, I kind of gotta agree with you. I would not be letting him walk right now. He's like he's a diamond in a what's the
diamond in a dozen?
Diamond in a dozen. Yeah,
needle in a haystack.
Needle in a haystack. That's what I was going for. I think I was going to say diamond in a haystack. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, but on that note, hockey officially started.
Yeah, that's what. Today, right now, it's going on.
Well, you played in Russia.
Yeah, I guess officially overseas, the Devils did start. We are out to a 2-0 record, so we are the best team in the NHL. No big deal.
Yeah, there you go. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny that another sports franchise starting the season in another country.
Yeah, I mean, hey, honestly,
I hate it.
I hate it and love it at this. I hate it and love it at the same time. It's good. It's good that we're bringing America's sports to other countries.
Why?
Because then it helps grow the game. No. Because don't you want a game global? Because what's the biggest sport? Soccer. Why? Because it's played everywhere.
I understand that. I understand that. No, it's not my I don't like starting the season with it. I don't like putting it on a pedestal like that. I like to make it a spectacle type of thing. Like, oh, in a month, the Devils and the Sharks are going to be headed to Czech,
Yeah, no, I guess.
I had no idea about it. If you're not a complete hockey guy that's locked into off-season hockey and shit, you didn't know.
Or a Devil fan or Buffalo fan.
Correct. And then what time did this game start?
So the first game on Friday, what was that? Friday? Yeah, Friday. It started at like 5:00.
Okay.
And then, but Saturday was 10 a.m.
Okay. Still not bad. It's not like 6 a.m.
It was
not bad. Whatever.
It was like 1:00 the first game, but the second game was definitely 10 a.m.
Whatever. You're up. That's not a crazy time.
Oh no, I loved watching hockey.
Yeah. So even with the Jets, I thought it was pretty good.
Oh my God. Sunday, woke up, watched the Jets. Then it went right into the 1:00 games, watched the Patriots.
Yeah.
And 4:00, the Mets played. And I also had the Giants on the little TV.
Crazy, right?
I didn't even watch the 8:00 games. I didn't watch anything after that. I was just chilling.
Yeah. That's why too much. It was a great time to do what we do right here, right now. Like there's so much on the table to talk about. It doesn't friggin' stop. What do you got next?
Nothing really to show, but I just wanted to the NFL Players Association.
Yeah.
So they're looking to change the rule of the media not coming into the locker room, just like every other sport. So I know if you notice, like every single interview is in front of somebody's locker. They're allowed, I believe, before the game, after the game. I think they're now trying to do requests and the players will go right outside the locker room to a podium and answer questions that way. I think it was going to be like coach, quarterback, and then significant player of that game.
Wow.
And yeah, because it makes sense though. Like, especially like right after a game, do you really want the media in your freaking locker room when
your space when you need?
Yeah, not even that. After you lost, like, and guys are gonna be guys and say, like wrong shit, and you don't want to. If someone's getting an interview, then you have like the voice in the background. So
I hear you. I think it does make for better entertainment, better TV, I would say, when that stuff is going on. You do get a lot of hot instant reactions.
They do.
Baseball does it.
Okay. I don't know why I've seen somewhere that no other sport did.
Yeah, no, baseball does it. Did you see that video of, I don't know who exactly it was on the Giants, but they were dancing like crazy after the win, and then Dable comes up behind that and he's like, "Don't post that."
Yeah, I did. I think it was Wan'Dale Robinson, actually.
Oh, Robinson, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so friggin' funny. That was so funny. He's like, "Don't post that."
Of course, Brian Dable being the fucking little freaking
party crasher.
Yeah, party pooper.
Yeah, it's good though. That's good. You don't want that shit out there.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do it anyway.
Last thing. Now, the NFL is all about player safety, but honestly, when it comes down to one of their superstars, they're just looking for whatever gives them money just to keep them in the game. You watch this and let me know if you think Josh Allen should have stayed in the game.
Edwards grabbed hold down low.
And okay there, he's out of the pocket. He becomes a runner at that point, so he can go low and tackle.
Out cold.
He's not in the pocket as a quarterback throwing it.
Oh, wow.
Even though he's outside of it and he's trying to throw it, but at that point he becomes a runner.
Out cold. I didn't see that.
Yep, and he supposedly got smelling salt on the sideline and went back in.
Wow, he didn't have to go through concussion protocol, nothing.
Nope. And it just goes to show you how rigged this freaking league is. Like, they're all about player safety, but Josh Allen, who's a very high-valued player
for TV, sure,
they want him in the game.
That is crazy.
To anybody's regular eye, yeah, he went the full like unconscious with the hands and everything, like what we saw with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit's dangerous for the game. And honestly, I don't dislike the Guardian cap. Jabril Peppers, he wears it.
Okay.
I mean, you can obviously tell, and they need to make the design a lot better and make it look more to the helmet. But it's really not that crazy. Like, I was over it after the first week.
Yeah.
And I see it every game.
And it could save your life.
And yeah, it could save your life. Supposedly,
definitely save you later in life. It could save.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think everybody should be wearing that, as corny as that might be.
It's not even that. It's not corny, Andrew. It's 2024, right? These helmets should be even better than they are today.
Yeah, but just I know looking the part is a lot to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like
basketball, you see like face guards and shit after the guy breaks his nose 400 times.
Yeah, no, of course you need that, but again, I don't know. That's just like with neck pads and all that stuff. No one's gonna wear them.
Mm-hmm.
A neck pad saves people's lives too. They stop wearing them. It's because it doesn't look aesthetic, right?
Yeah. Got it.
That's all we got.
Right. Judge, you and my SOB of the week. Go fucking get him, dude. Go fucking get him. Change the narrative that's being written right now. Mets, keep it rolling. Keep that juju. Just keep it going. Cinderella type shit. Write the Disney fucking movie, man. At this point, go fucking punch your ticket to the show, dude. Go, dude. Don't stop. Don't stop. Giants win another game on Sunday night.
That's my franchise quarterback. That's my franchise quarterback. That's my franchise quarterback.
Put that back in the conversation. Put it back in the conversation. Do it back-to-back weeks. Do it back-to-back weeks. Remember, everybody, it's very, 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 very easy to gamble away all your money right now. Please just gamble responsibly. Be smart about it. And we'll see you next week.
Peace. Let's go, Mets.
Come on, Judge. Yanks, get it going, baby. Peace out.